Hey everybody, Liam here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Metromania. For those not in the loop, Metromania is an ongoing 16 Pokemon Metronome-only double battle tournament to determine the MetroMania Champion, and this season focuses on Pokemon that are born and raised in the Galar region. Of course, if you're already a fan of Metromania, make sure you hit the like button on this video to help out this wonderful channel. Of course, let's get to 1,000 likes. Let's set ourselves a nice easy goal, and of course, hit subscribe if you're new so you never miss an episode. And of course, don't forget, use code ACE to save yourself some money on G Fuel. I'm currently drinking the Hydration G Fuel. It's caffeine free, it's calorie free, it's sugar free, it's wonderful, and it tastes of dragon fruit. Oh! And it's in my Macho Man Randy Savage shaker. Ooh, yeah, dig it. That's a terrible impression. Code ACE, though, is a great idea. So throughout the heats, we've thinned the herd a little bit. We've lost 8 Pokemon, but 8 Pokemon remain. It's time for the quarterfinals. But before we get into the battles, let's have a look at the all-important brackets. Last week, the quarterfinals were finalized as Hatterene was victorious over Eiscue, but just barely. Just barely. Eiscue proved to Hatterene that you just can't underestimate any Pokemon in Metromania because anything can happen. The quarterfinals now are set and they look absolutely incredible. Let's start things off with Toxtricity taking on Corviknight. So here we go, it's Metromania Season 7 Quarterfinal 1. Toxtricity taking on Corviknight. This is going to be incredible. These are two great contenders. Toxtricity very much a surprise winner in its initial heat, in Heat 1. Corviknight quite dominant. I'd say the most dominant that we've had in this season. The only 3-0 winner, I think, so far. The only winner to win 3 rounds of Metromania in this season. We are getting Shiny Toxtricity starting things off with a Shadow Sneak onto the Shiny Corviknight there for a little bit of chip damage. A lot of people think Corviknight is a very, very scary contender. We see Wonder Room coming out from Toxtricity, swapping defense and special defense stats. Sure, why not? Go for it, because of course Corviknight has that steel typing which has been so popular and so powerful in Metromania because of all its resistances. Oh my god, it's not resistant to self-destruct though. Regular Corviknight taking itself out, although that won't do much damage to its partner. Huge damage to both the Toxtricity there though, my word. That was incredible. Not very effective on its partner, but it did a great deal of damage to the opposing team. But of course it has the pressure ability, which limits the amount of time that its opponents can actually battle it, because every time its opponent uses a move, the pressure ability of both the Corviknight reduces the PP significantly more than it would if they were against a regular opponent. So Corviknight very, very dangerous. I completely agree. I do think Corviknight is a dangerous opponent, and I think Toxtricity definitely is the underdog in this battle. We see Night Days coming out from that Shiny Toxtricity though, and that is going to land on Corviknight for a decent chunk of damage right there as well, and it is going to get an accuracy drop on Corviknight as well, which should bode well for Toxtricity. Accuracy drops are going to be very, very important in this. Regular Toxtricity going to stockpile, increase its defense and special defense by 1 stage apiece, which when you're at half HP is not a bad idea at all. Of course, the more you can protect yourself against Corviknight, the more you can survive against Corviknight. Gyro Ball coming out from Corviknight, that is a steel type move, doing a little bit of chip damage there. Of course, not very effective on Shiny Toxtricity, even though it is same type attack bonus for Corviknight. So we're seeing a very, very interesting back and forth. I'm surprised that the self-destruct was used so early. We see Petal Blizzard coming out from the regular Toxtricity there. It's going to be resisted by Corviknight by 4 times. It's going to be resisted only 2 times by Shiny Toxtricity, so Shiny Toxtricity probably didn't appreciate that much from its teammate. We see Stealth Rock coming out, which is a waste of a turn, so Toxtricity already not showing the best battle plan, not showing the best strategy, having a little bit of difficulty getting going here, and this could bode very, very well for the Corviknight team. Shiny Corviknight going to go for Horn Leech, which will be resisted, but will allow it to sap a little bit of HP, restore a little bit of its own HP. And it does put that Shiny Toxtricity in the danger zone, so it's looking really good for Corviknight right now. I mean, obviously, Toxtricity might have a few tricks up its sleeve, but certainly Corviknight is very much in control here, even with 2 opponents on the battlefield. Here's Smokescreen coming out, though, from that regular Toxtricity, which is going to lower the accuracy of this Corviknight even more, which is going to prove very, very difficult for Corviknight going forward. It's at -2 accuracy already, and here's the Shiny Toxtricity going for Hold Back. Of course, that's not very effective damage, and it certainly won't knock out an opponent, but any damage is better than no damage. But they need to work faster if they're going to take down this Corviknight before the pressure ability takes away, oh my word, Horn Drill takes away all of their PP, so then they can't use Metronome and they have to struggle themselves to death, which struggle isn't really going to do much against a Corviknight. It's not really going to be that helpful. So here's the Shiny Toxtricity going for Sucker Punch after Corviknight's failed Horn Drill attempt. Here's the regular Toxtricity though. What's it going to do here? Going to go for No Retreat. Going to increase its attack, special attack, defense, special defense, and its speed by 1 stage in favor of not being able to switch out, which is really broken in Metromania because there is no switching out. So it's just a free stat boost without having to use Ancient Power and hope for the best. It's just a guaranteed stat boost on all of your stats. Here's the Corviknight though going for Headbutt, avoided by Shiny Toxtricity. Wonder Room has switched everybody's defense and special defense back to normal. So what will be next for these Pokemon? Of course, regular Toxtricity sitting pretty with its stats increased. Corviknight bit unhappy probably because it's got its accuracy lowered by 2 stages. Regular Toxtricity going to go for Boom Burst. That will hit its partner though. Not very effective damage on that Corviknight. Takes down its own partner, puts Corviknight into the danger zone, but that may have boded very well for Corviknight because now it's only against 1 Toxtricity as it goes for Stealth Rock, which is a wasted turn. We've already mentioned that Stealth Rock is a wasted turn, so that's not so good for Corviknight here. But now it gives Toxtricity, I guess, an opportunity to mount some kind of comeback. Maybe it's going to try and redeem itself. What's it going to do here? The Toxtricity going to go for Wood Hammer. Again, 4 times resisted by the Flying and Steel type Corviknight. Does come with a little bit of chip damage, a little bit of recoil damage, I should say, as well. Putting it on 69 hit points. Nice. Corviknight, though, is in a dangerous position here. Needs to restore its HP. Goes for Psychic Fangs, though, which will be super effective on Toxtricity. Of course, Toxtricity has that stockpile that it used earlier, and it has the No Retreat boost, so it's a +2 defense, so it lives the Psychic Fangs. Very lucky for Toxtricity that it has those boosts. And it goes for Drill Run. Of course, that doesn't affect Corviknight, so Corviknight is given another opportunity to mount some kind of offense on this Toxtricity. Goes for Magical Leaf. That is going to be resisted by the poison typing of Toxtricity, and obviously those boosts in defense and special defense. So absolutely not enough to take down Toxtricity, but this really could go either way. It's anybody's battle right now. Toxtricity is ready though, goes for Dragon Tail. It has got increased attack. How much is that going to do? It's enough to take down Corviknight, and Toxtricity with a critical hit have taken the first round. It's Toxtricity 1, Corviknight 0 so far, so Corviknight really needs to do something here. It needs to protect itself, otherwise it's going to be taken out of the competition. Although I don't think a lot of people were expecting Toxtricity to even get 1 win against Corviknight. So I'm sitting here as surprised as you are that it's Toxtricity that has 1 on the board so far and not Corviknight. I guess you just, like I said, you can't count anybody out in Metromania. We learned that last week with Hatterene and Eiscue. Even though Hatterene did ultimately go through, Eiscue very much was oh my goodness, oh no. I was going to say underestimated, but a Bulldoze from regular Toxtricity, super effective damage and a speed drop on its own partner, and nothing done to its opponent. That was very, very unfortunate. Here's Fissure coming out from the regular Corviknight. It is going to land as well. That shiny Toxtricity is out of here before it can even move. My word. That was absolutely terrible. What a bad play by regular Toxtricity. Shiny Corviknight is geared up and ready. Gonna go for Growl and lower the attack stat of this Toxtricity. This is the kind of mistake you don't want to make in Metromania. That is unbelievable. What an absolute mess this Toxtricity looks right now. What a stupid play. Toxtricity getting ready, looking a little bit embarrassed right there. Going for another Bulldoze. Stop using Bulldoze, you idiot. My word. So no damage to the Corviknight team once again this turn. Wild Charge coming out from the shiny Corviknight there. Not going to do a great deal of damage. Does a decent chunk of chip damage though. A little bit of recoil damage as well. Of course, it's resisted by the electric typing of Toxtricity. Here's regular Corviknight with Psychic Terrain. I'm going to increase the power of Psychic type moves and, of course, stop priority moves from being able to land. Increase priority moves, but my word, Toxtricity is not looking good right now. Not at all. Oh, dearie me. What's going to happen here? Toxtricity, you need to pull out some kind of surprise if you're going to 2-0 these Corviknight. Goes for Power Whip, 4 times resisted, -1 attack as well. So barely any damage done to that shiny Corviknight there. It's still in a very difficult position in this Metromania quarterfinal. This is the quarterfinal, man. You don't make mistakes like that. Here's Spore from the shiny Corviknight, which is going to put Toxtricity to sleep. Toxtricity at this point is a sitting duck. It might be worth Toxtricity just giving up, calling it a match, and then going into the 3rd round, letting Corviknight equalize maybe. Clanging Scales for a little bit of damage there from that regular Corviknight. Going to drop its own defense though, because Toxtricity, I can't see it having a prayer of going 2-0 on Corviknight right now. I don't see it happening. At this point, I think we're all expecting Toxtricity to lose this particular round. We see Clear Smog coming out from the shiny Corviknight for a tiny bit of chip damage. This could go on for quite a while. This could go on until Toxtricity runs out of moves, to be completely honest, if it's going to try and take down 2 Corviknight on its own. We see a 4 times effective Mud Shot from the regular Corviknight there for huge damage, putting Toxtricity down to just 20 hit points. Its speed has dropped to stage as well. It's not looking good for Toxtricity right now. The Corviknight team look absolutely dominant. This looks like the Frosmoth battle all over again. Here's shiny Corviknight getting ready with the Metronome. What's he going to do? Going to go for Cross Poison, which will be resisted by the Poison type Toxtricity, but it's not quite enough. I apologize, it's not quite enough to take down Toxtricity there. 4 hit points for Toxtricity, but here's a stab Steel Wing from the regular Corviknight, and down goes Toxtricity, and what has to be the most embarrassing round of Metromania we've seen in a long, long time. 1-0, 1 apiece to Toxtricity and Corviknight. Everyone's back on the field. This could go either way. It's all down to whether or not Corviknight dominates or whether or not Toxtricity makes a stupid mistake like it did in the last round. That was absolutely embarrassing for the Toxtricity team. Just, its partner didn't even get to move, man. That was unbelievable. Here we see shiny Toxtricity is going to start things off for its team. It's saying, look, mate, I'll start this thing off. Don't you worry. Fails with Teleport. Absolute idiot. What's regular Toxtricity going to do here? What's it got on its mind? Going to go for Steel Wing, the move that knocked it out of the last round. Not very effective on that shiny Corviknight, but at least you didn't take your own partner out. How about that, mate? Here's regular Corviknight getting geared up and ready to go with Facade. Of course, it's not going to be a powered up Facade because it doesn't have any status condition, but it's still going to do a decent chunk of damage there to that shiny Toxtricity. Here's shiny Corviknight with a triple kick on that same shiny Toxtricity. So not a great deal of damage with each hit, but it's still chipping away at the HP of that shiny Toxtricity. It's down to, it's taken at least a third of its max HP and damage there. It's taken 52 hit points of damage, Liam. So yes, it indeed has taken over a third. Here we see Baton Pass, which is going to fail. Another failed move from the Toxtricity team. Here's shiny Toxtricity, though. What's it going to do here? Going to go for Shell Smash. Scary play. Going to drop its defense and its special defense by 1 stage, increasing its attack, its special attack, and its speed by 2 stages apiece. So making it a little bit more deadly, but of course making it a little bit more vulnerable. Always a bit of a scary play with Shell Smash. You got to have big balls to be using Shell Smash. Here, nearly said Smell Smash. Dearie me, that's a different game you play at night. Here we see Tearful Luck, which is going to drop the attack and special attack 1 stage of the regular Toxtricity there. And now it's over to the shiny Corviknight, who's going to go for Lava Plume, which will do more damage to its partner than it will do to the Toxtricity, surely, because it's super effective. Okay, it did quite a lot of damage. No, it did a bit of chip damage, to be fair. It did do more damage. It gets the burn on its own partner, did more damage to its partner, and got the burn on the regular Toxtricity, but it burnt its own partner, which is not good at all. That was a very bad play there, I would say, by the shiny Corviknight. I respect the intent, but the execution was bad. Here we see the shiny Toxtricity, I should say, going for Flame Wheel, which is super effective. Remember, it's at +2 attack and special attack. Huge damage, takes down regular Corviknight. Regular Corviknight is out of here. It was a critical hit as well. Doesn't even get a chance to try and attack with that reduced attack from the burn. Here's the regular Toxtricity. What's it going to do? Mystical Fire, another super effective move. My word, that's going to do a great chunk of damage. Lucky for that Corviknight that the special attack was reduced on that Toxtricity from the Tearful Look earlier, although Corviknight's own special attack has just been dropped by a stage as well. Here's a Grass Pledge, which is not going to do a great deal of damage at all. -1 special attack and resisted by the poison typing. Of course, there's the burn damage taking effect on the regular Toxtricity. Of course, will have its attack stat halved by the burn, and also it's at -1 attack anyway from the Tearful Look earlier. Here's shiny Toxtricity, though, still powered up. Gonna go for Parabolic Charge, which is super effective. It'll be resisted by its partner Pokemon, so will do a great deal of damage because it's powered up, but takes down Corviknight, restores a little bit of its own HP, and Corviknight is out of this contest. I can't believe it. I'm amazed. Toxtricity is going through to the semi-finals. It's our first semi-finalist. I don't believe it. Corviknight is gone. Toxtricity goes through. You've got to call it an upset, haven't you? What an upset victory. I think I speak for everybody when I say Toxtricity had no business winning this battle. I don't quite know what happened. Corviknight, as a steel type with pressure ×2, should have absolutely dominated the entire competition. So I don't understand how Toxtricity who was really an underdog in this battle, managed to pull out a victory. Not to mention, Toxtricity in the second round completely went to toss. Like, it used Bulldoze on its own partner and just absolutely thrashed its own team. It was so bizarre. It was so weird. And bizarre is the word. It's the only word to describe this. Corviknight's out. Toxtricity's still in. I don't understand. Of course, that means Toxtricity does proceed to the semi-finals, and it's obviously going to need an opponent, isn't it? So, we'll find out its opponent next week when Grimmsnarl takes on Orbeetle. And that'll do it for another episode of Metromania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel like these wonderful people down here, do pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. And of course, use code ACE to save money on G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.